What is going on, everyone? How are you guys doing today? What I have for you today in this video is I want to talk to you guys about a possible clone slash copy slash very similar phone that may be coming out that is related to the iPhone 10. So whether you want to consider this as a clone, a copy, or something that's just similar to the iPhone 10, apparently other manufacturers do want to compete with it and they want to make devices that are almost the same as the iPhone 10. And there's this one company called Noah, N-O-A, which found us in the article. Feel free to give it a read. The link will be in the description below, where they developed a phone called the N10. Now, just looking on the device itself, like basically the screen, you can see that it has a very similar design as the iPhone 10, where it has that notch at the top for the speaker, but it does have a bezel at the bottom. And of course, no home button on there physically. So whatever gesture they have on there is how you're going to be able to operate as a home button through the screen itself, kind of like what you do with the iPhone 10. Not sure if it's going to be the same gesture where you'd have to swipe from the bottom. It could be as simple as, hey, just tap the screen once and then your phone wakes up. If that was the case, then they probably have like a pressuring system like they do on the Galaxy Note 8 by Samsung, or the Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus. So in reality, this phone should be a direct competitor to the iPhone 10 because, obviously very similar in design, and they're trying to go the same route that Apple is doing with the iPhone 10, but put their own twist into it by putting Android on there. And how's Android going to run in this? I'm not 100% sure. And they have gone over, or there are rumors out there where people have announced specs and then storage configurations. Obviously, this device is not out yet, but we might be seeing full details of it pretty soon at Mobile World Congress if they are going to announce this device over there. But after looking at it, what are my first impressions of it? Well, here's the thing. It does look sick. I just wonder if there's a market for phones like this. For instance, like meaning, yes, there's already a market for it because people have bought the iPhone 10 no problem, because some people do like the iPhone 10 and they love the design and they love all the gestures that can be done with it. They love the fact that there's no physical home button on there. Whatever the reasoning may be, something like this and the iPhone 10 in general is just not for everyone, because not everyone is going to agree to the fact that there's no home button on there. But this could be like a new innovation of smartphones where you basically just control everything by your hand and not just by pushing a button. So really, one thing that I've noticed is that if Apple were to try something new, then manufacturers definitely want to try to do something similar. For instance, when the first iPhone came out, there wasn't really any smartphone out there. Well, don't even count like the Blackberries back then, because the Blackberries, they basically allow you to surf the web, view email, but it wasn't something as intense as how the iPhone was back then. That pretty much made everyone rethink what smartphones were like. And then when the iPhone 3G came out with the App Store, then all of a sudden you got all these other manufacturers, Google with the Nexus devices by HTC, and now look where we're at. Now Apple has developed this iPhone 10 and manufacturers want to do something similar, which brings out a lot of warp at the consumer out there, of course. So obviously from Apple fanboys to Android fanboys, or vice versa, fangirls, whatever the case may be. It always seems like something just doesn't seem innovative anymore as soon as another manufacturer tries to do a similar thing that Apple has done. So really, Apple does create the innovation and then manufacturers try to create something similar to and compete with them. And then at some point, manufacturers do certain things that are better than what Apple does. And if this new phone from Noah is going to come out, is it going to be successful? That is a pretty good question, because there were stories going around where Apple has, if you want to talk about money, they've actually sold fewer iPhones for like the first quarter of this year, or maybe close to it, but they've actually made a lot more money with it being $1,000 phone. That is a hefty price for a smartphone, like I've said in the past before, but it just depends if you really want it or not, because there's a market where people definitely want the iPhone 10. They're definitely going to go for it, no matter what. And there's like a variety of reasons. One, they're hardcore Apple fans and they definitely want the latest and greatest. Two, they love the design. Three, they love how small it is but has a bigger screen. Four, they love how there's no bezels. Whatever the case may be. Now, with a competitor that's possibly going to be coming out to compete with the iPhone 10, how is the competition going to look? Are they going to do something that is completely similar to Apple, but put an Android operating system on there, meaning they're doing something different compared to the iPhone 10. They put a bezel at the bottom. Apple doesn't have a bezel on the iPhone 10 at all. How are you going to be able to unlock the screen, and how are you going to be able to operate the home button on the Noah N10? We just have to see what this is going to be like, because it seems like first Apple gets the growth, and then all of a sudden you got these manufacturers that are coming out that are competing with Apple here, and then sometimes it's going to be Apple is doing better, and then sometimes the manufacturers are doing better. It'll be interesting to see what this phone can do that the iPhone 10 can't. Regardless, like, smartphones these days are like very similar. It just depends on which platform you want and which platform that you're more comfortable with, that you can use on a daily basis, and all this is going to be personal preference. And like I said before, I can't obviously say this is what the Noah N10 can do and this is how I feel about it, because I don't even have the thing yet. The thing hasn't been announced yet by the time this video is being made and uploaded. I'm just saying, like, it's very interesting to see another competitor out there for the iPhone 10, and then we're going to see what they can do that the iPhone 10 cannot do. So that's where I stand with this. As far as the design wise, it does look pretty cool. In fact, I'm just looking at the side of my screen right now. I have it pulled up right here from the article, and it looks like it may have like an aluminum finish or like a stainless steel finish, whereas the iPhone 10 now is glass on both the front and the back, very similar to what they did with the iPhone 4. Now they're like going back and forth. They'll go one way and then they'll go back to another way, but a newer design. So we just have to see how the Noah N10 competes with the iPhone 10, and who knows what the next generation iPhone 10 is going to be like, because there were rumors where Apple may stop making the iPhone 10 at some point due to like inventory issues or whatever the reasoning may be. What do you guys think about the Noah N10? Do you guys think that it's going to be a direct competitor with the iPhone 10? Most likely it's going to be. And which one do you think is going to be giving consumers a better experience overall? I don't know too much about this Noah N10 as of right now, besides this, but will it possibly beat the iPhone 10? I'd like to see what you guys have to say in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment. Also check out the description below for my social media links, Twitter, Instagram. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.